Hello, thinkers. Welcome to the first video episode of the Ponderlings podcast. I should have checked before I got on. I think it's episode 12. I don't remember now.
I don't remember.
I should have checked before I got on here, but that shows how long it's been. And I apologize about Bella. She's probably going to bark and do stuff. And with this new software, or how we're doing stuff, I don't know how I can cut it out, but learning process. We'll see how it goes. Oh, there she is. The star of the show. So, yeah, joining me, as always, is my lovely wife, Mallory. Look at her. She did her hair.
Howdy.
It's so cute. And so, yeah, then we've been gone for probably a month or two, I think. And the main reason for that was just life kind of got in the way. We got more responsibilities and trying to figure out what I wanted to do with the channel. And we were using this hosting site to pretty much upload to YouTube like the audio files and stuff, and I was tired of paying that, especially since it
only worked like half the time.
Well,
too.
It wasn't even that was Audacity, and I think that's just my computer being I have too many audio files on there. But no, it limited us to like 25 minutes, and I didn't want to limit because I don't know, I could talk about this stuff forever probably, but
he needs a limit though.
I do need a limit, so we're gonna try. I haven't figured out what our goal is, I guess, for time-wise. This episode I'm going to shoot for 30 minutes, but we're going to see what happens. And then, but before we get into that, I kind of want to talk about what I hope to do with the channel from here on out, and my, I guess, projection for the last 2 months of the year. And so, to start off, we're doing video now, like I said, and this is almost the last day of October, and then November is National Novel Writing Month. So that's a big thing. I've been writing a lot. Mallory doesn't care, but for me, it's a big deal. It's been going on since like 1999, and basically, it's a website that like makes a group and, for writers to come, and they can pledge to work for an hour, like not an hour, 30 days a month. And Bella's making it hard for me to think. She's barking so loud, but so basically, what I'll be doing then for each day, you have to have a certain amount of words. It's like 1,666. I don't like the 666, so I was like, I'll just do 1,700 words. So 1,700 words a day, and to help me stay motivated and do it, I figured I'll do a vlog thing. I'm going to be join the bandwagon, I guess, vlogging. And so it'll be kind of like this. There won't really be anything to production value-wise to it, especially while I'm still learning. It'll help me figure out how to edit. That's one of the other reasons why
this is just our guest
Isn't
bedroom /
it nice?
I don't know.
The blinds look so weird over the... Anyway, so that's what
window if you want.
No, then they'll see where we live. I don't want that.
He doesn't want you coming to visit us.
No. All 12 of you. So... that's what I'm going to do. It'll be a daily thing again. It's more of me trying to test out the video. We're just using the basic camera on the laptop. I have a lamp for light, and then I have my phone stuck up for like...
on the web.
Oh.
Siri is getting crazy. She doesn't want me to succeed. So yeah, after that November time, since I'm going to be writing so much, I won't... Because I want to do more literature stuff on the channel. When I do that, it'll probably be myself. Mallory doesn't really like to talk about...
I just don't read a lot.
I mean, but you watch TV. There's stories in TV. And like,
that's true.
But so maybe we'll do something like that too. I don't know. That'd be kind of fun. And so I'm hoping to do December, but December is that Christmas season, and that's always crazy. So we'll see what actually happens there. And then I'm hoping to do the podcast again once a week. My days off are different from what I had before, so maybe a different schedule. I think last time we were doing Monday or Tuesday.
Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, so remember. We'll see. We'll see if I upload that time. And then I think that's everything so far that we want to do. Again, if there's anything that you'd like us to start talking about or do anything, let us know. It would help out a lot. And I think we'll move on to the actual topic the show's about. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we had our first suggestion, and that was to do the trolley scenario paradox. It has a couple different names.
It's also a fun game.
It is, yeah. Cyanide Happiness has a little. I'm not making any money out of it, but they they made a game that's a lot of fun. That is basically that same concept. So for you who don't know what it is, it's this ethical, I guess, scenario to where there is 2 tracks, and there's, I don't even know, is it a conductor drives the train?
Like
right?
they control the train.
Yeah, but they don't control. Not that I see. This could be a whole separate video here. It blows my mind. I've asked so many people, how do you even become a train conductor? You know, no one's like, oh, I'm going to
kind of obsolete
conducting
now because
school.
I think it's all just like remote.
There's so many maybe, but I see people in. Oh, do I? Well, I used to live in like a train depot, like a small town. That they
used to live in a train depot.
Not a train depot. No, I didn't live in it, but a town
Walking
where.
Dead?
No, a town where a train. Like that. That's how
where they stopped.
No, yeah, it was like a depot. They would go there, not the train that I guess some of you were thinking like, oh, you can hop on the train and go. We couldn't do that. You couldn't ride it. It was for transporting goods, and then they would stop in this town to get repairs and stuff. And
okay.
So I would see trains all the time, and I remember seeing people drop like in the city. But anyway, there's no conducting school or whatever. Like no one just goes. That I don't even hear anyone.
Maybe there is.
You hear people like, I'm going to be a pilot. And I was like, wow, that's so cool. Yeah. And it's like, okay, I understand that. You go to flight school. You got to do all this stuff. But no one's out here like, I'm going to be a conductor. I'm going to drive a train. And it's like, someone's got to do it.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know.
But anyway.
Well, if you know.
Yeah, let me know.
Let us know.
I haven't really looked too hard, but still, it's still something that interests me. But anyway, there's also someone who like controls, like watches the traffic and changes the Garfield. If you've seen that movie, they have a scene where that happens. You haven't seen that movie? Mm-mm. Bill Murray would be upset. There's a scene where they kind of show how that works, and Garfield even goes in, messes it. Anyway, but so basically, I got far away from what this scenario is.
Well, you know how the tracks split, right?
Yeah,
You can
it's like a Y.
Like you can pull that thing, that lever, and then the track moves.
So you're the lever, puller, pusher person in this scenario. And on one track, let's say the left side is 1 person, and on the right side is 5 people. And you have to choose. The crash is tumbling.
Has to get run over.
So you have to decide, okay, who's dying today?
Mm-hmm. Are you going to kill the 1 person or the 5 people?
Right.
But there are
there's no that's just the base.
Yeah,
and then it builds up on that. Then there's the thing where it's like, oh, this 1 person's your mom,
the 1 person, or
your dad, or your child, or something, and then the 5 people are these random strangers, and you're like, oh well, I don't know.
Or it's like, are you gonna kill on one side is gonna be a bus full of children, and then
make it sound, and that's basically what the game is, where you're trying to make one side seem.
Yeah,
easier
and then
to kill.
in the game, you can explain yourself too.
Yeah.
You can be like, well, if you kill all the.
I mean, you can explain yourself in real life too if you had to do this. But you're still a murderer either way.
Yeah.
But
and nobody likes a murderer.
Oh well, that's not true for everyone. Some people are into that. But anyway, there's this thing. Basically, there's another layer to it where most people choose to save the more lives and the lesser lives, and not lesser as in value, everyone's life is
lesser as in amount.
Yeah, lesser in amount.
Do as
One
little
over the
harm
5,
as possible. Yeah, so you'd be killing 1 person versus 5.
And then there's another scenario where instead of the train is just going one way, and the only way to stop it is to push this person who's in front of you in front of it, and it would somehow stop the train. It would not happen. The train would literally blow that thing to pieces. But anyway, that's the scenario, and then most people still couldn't do it because the physical act of pushing the body off of the thing to, I don't even know what the thing is, but pushing it off to hit the train is such a, in that act you're really, it kind of goes with the whole cyberbullying
No matter what,
thing.
you're still a murderer.
Right, but you lose that anonymity. You know what I'm saying? Trying to say
Anonymity, like
that's
anonymous.
Yeah. Whereas like that's why it's easier to pull the lever than, and the same thing happens online where people will say, "Oh, you're stupid," blah blah blah.
But it's like say it
but
to
if
my
they said
face.
it, if they were actually in front of you, some still would. Some people are mean like that, but most people wouldn't say it to your face, or they'd feel bad. But yeah, so that's where that goes, and that's kind of the main, at least that I've seen, like reading on it, and this one is just from what I've learned from psych class and just in general. A friend of mine, I'll shout out Simon or whatever, he was studying to be a lawyer or whatever, and he told me that they do this in a class. They have this scenario where they say, I thought that was super cool. I don't know if that's how
cool.
All lawyers do that or not, but I thought that was really interesting and cool. But Bella is playing.
Sorry, I'm holding her teddy bear.
Yeah.
And she's trying to rip my arm out of the socket.
So that's kind of the basic thing, and so now I guess before I go into kind of how it
what would you guys do? So let's say on one side is one person, and then on the other side is like, again, a school bus full of children, but that one person
means the world to me.
Means the world to you. What would you do?
Now, let's say it's us.
Now, don't let it depress you, because
it's just
it would depress me thinking about it too much.
But like, if we can't tell them to do it, and I may not do it. So let's say that one person's me in the scenario, and like for me it'd be you.
Okay, well I would probably.
I think we'll have the same. I think we'd have the same answer here. So I'll let you.
I think you would want me to choose the children.
Yeah, and I think you would do the same thing.
That's the only thing that would give me peace, is knowing that I did what you would want me to do.
Because that's another thing that I don't know if everyone thinks about. Because let's say, Mallory, I'm on the track, and you decide, okay, I gotta save Josh. I just gotta. He's my world, my rock. I'd be a mess without him.
You're
I'm
great.
gonna say, I know. No, I mean I don't know, but you know what I mean. But basically, she chooses me or whatever. Like the guilt I would feel, all those lives would be on my shoulder.
Marriage,
honestly. I don't even know if I could continue. Like I'd be devastated.
Yeah,
thinking I'd wake up in the mirror
Yeah.
and I'd see these faces that I don't even know. So
it would ruin everything.
There's also this turmoil.
It would ruin my life. It would ruin his life. It would ruin our marriage.
Right, and then if you save the kids, like they don't know who I am in this scenario. Like they won't even think twice. They probably won't even know that it happened. And it's like, okay, I'd rather have that happen. Like.
And if they do, they have their whole life to like heal from it. Like,
oh gosh,
the younger you,
like if it was something to where like I had taught them or something, like that might be rough.
You taught them,
like I was their teacher or something.
Very involved.
Well, I'm just thinking, like I'm making this into a more, because at the end, then, am I saving lives or hurting more lives at that point? You know what I'm saying? Because like, death would be putting you out of your misery, basically. And if they really cared about me. But you don't have
to be in misery at this moment. I mean, you would be in misery in the moment, but you wouldn't be, like, it's not like you hated your life up to that point.
No, you're not getting what I'm saying. Like, I'm going off the scenario that these kids, I was a very important figure to these kids. And they were old enough to where it's like, wow, he chose, like, would that... What? Yeah, make fun of me. I'm just trying to make the scenario.
Okay, I get it. I know.
I don't think that would ever happen.
Mm-hmm.
Even if someone was really like the other people on the track really cared about the person on the other side, I don't think it would ruin their life so much to where they couldn't go on. As far as like.
There were nights when the wind was so cold.
Okay.
I don't even know if that's a real song, but that's what it reminds me of. That Celine Dion song.
Yeah. But that's kind of just a thought I had. I don't know. Maybe you guys think. If you were to leave those people behind and they're like, oh, my life is now ruined because I have that guilt, and it's all those lives. Like let's say 15 people are all on the bus, and they have this.
Children.
Well, it doesn't even have to be children this day, but 15 people that cared about this other person. Like, let's say they're all the sons and daughters of a parent, and the parent was killed. and then they have to live with that. And now it's like 15 of
Then
those lives
Yeah.
are now distraught. And it's like, now did you ethically choose the right decision now? And that's what I was trying to do. This was so dumb.
I did not say that it was dumb. I just didn't know where you were going with it.
Okay. But we came
going
here.
with
We got it.
Okay.
But yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like, ethically, would it have been better to just...
Kill the children?
They're not children. Like, I'm not thinking like little babies. I'm thinking like they're all grown adults now. But they're like, but then even then, it's like there has to be have to be a perfect age, like a Goldilocks in age for both these, where they still kind of need their parent, and the parents still, you know what I'm saying? Because it's, I don't know.
No, I get it. Like 15, 16, 17. You still need your parent, but you're very kind of, you could take care of yourself.
Yeah.
I get it. I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bella's over here thinking, if you choose to plow me over,
Bella, would you
I'll
choose
haunt
me
your soul.
or Josh? Who would you kill? She doesn't have an answer. She's thinking about it.
Yeah, just wait. She'll answer by the end.
Oh, big yawn.
So, and that's just the first kind of block that I wanted to, or chunk, I guess, I wanted to talk. The next thing I have the question for is, so in that situation, you are playing God, in a sense, because you're dictating whose lives are taken, and you're deciding whose lives are worth more. Now, let's kind of go further back, and let's say that you, Mallory, you are the lever puller for one of these situations. But, little do you know, behind you there is a track that leads to another lever puller. And you're on their right side, and on their left side's me. So we're both lever pullers. Mm-hmm. But now there's someone else. You see what I'm saying? Like a level of who... And it continues to go back and back. And at that point now, let's say this one person, they're 3 buildings back. Okay. So that means it branches so many times. Okay. By them choosing one side, they've now killed not just one, but multiple pathways.
And we can't change it.
And we can't change it because someone else chose before us. I don't know if anyone's talked about this before with this scenario, and I don't know if it even works. Because now that I'm thinking about it, because a train would take out one, and we'll say that if the train takes out that one, it activates that train. So it's just a continued, like, domino effect.
Okay.
And it's almost...
So what are our purposes? Like, what's our purpose then if we're...
So that's the thing. In the scenario, we could know that there's people that even control our lives, or we could not. And I think each situation kind of warrants or explains a difference. Like, because if we didn't know someone's behind us, that... I don't know if that would make you feel like you have this...
It would make me
power.
feel like I have no... No, it would make me feel like I have no control.
No. So you don't know anyone's behind you. Like, you think you're the sole... Like, you have you control everything in this scenario. Like, you control who dies and who doesn't.
Okay.
And, like, I don't know how far you'd have to... I think I'm thinking too much now into the whole life of being inside this station. But...
Well, you did live in a train depot.
I did not live in a train depot. I lived in a house with my siblings. And my parents. But in that situation, you are put on this power thing. And let's say the people on the track know that you are deciding their fate. I feel at that point, they would do all they can to convince you that their life is worth. And that's almost like, I'm going to do a plug your Squid Game or whatever. It's kind of... It's a great
Squid Game
show. But that's kind of almost what they're doing, in a sense, like convincing that they deserve to live, especially in certain, like, oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, when that woman was like...
Don't spoil anything in case anyone hasn't watched it.
So she was like, I have a baby.
Yeah, okay, that's the first episode.
But did she really, though? Like, okay, if you watched if you watched the show all the way to the end, you know the woman I'm talking about, who at the beginning was like, please sir, I have a baby that I haven't even named yet. I don't think she did. I think she was just
Well, if you were in that situation, would you? I'd be lying through my teeth.
Honestly, I don't think I would.
No, you'd just be like, oh yeah, kill me.
No, I wouldn't say like kill me, but I would just be like, I don't know. Maybe I'm supposed to be here. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's a whole different topic than Squid Game.
Also, Squid Game, that's like another kind of situation because you get to know these people, but you know that not all of you are going to make it out alive.
Yeah, and this actually is a good example of what I'm... Because in that scenario, they dictate... Because people have to die in this... And so alliances are made...
So the whole base of Squid Game is that there's like 400 and some people to begin with. They all have to take part in these games. And if they find out,
if someone dies, 100,000 won.
Like, yeah, like an insane amount of money. I don't know how they transfer to American dollars. I don't know. But anyway, so players get eliminated for not following the rules or for losing the games, and that means, not alive anymore. So basically only one person can win at the end, right? But then people create these alliances. I wouldn't be able to create an alliance.
Because you'd have to kill them at some point.
Or, there's no way I would.
That's another ethical thing there, because... And that kind of goes to Hunger Games as well. And in Hunger Games, it works out. Spoilers for Hunger Games, I'm sorry. Katniss and Peeta make an alliance. And in the end, they decide we'll both take our own lives rather than have them win.
And that's the Trolley thing, too, when Josh and I were talking about how, like, we would basically sacrifice each other because...
Sacrifice himself.
Because we know that, first of all, that's what the other person would want, and we wouldn't be able to live with ourselves knowing that we sacrificed all these people.
Right.
Just to save the other person selfishly for ourselves.
Right.
So, but that's what they did in Hunger Games because... Like,
they would rather have that
when it came down to just
over...
two of them, they would rather not live
keep
than
their
live
humanity.
with the
It's
fact.
a beautiful thing. Beautiful writing to do that. But what I was going with the Squid Game thing and the Trolley thing is, in that situation, in the alliance forming, you are dictating who you value over everyone else. Mm-hmm. But then there's the staff that make sure the games go okay.
And that everybody has an even chance.
So they then are the next
the
back.
people,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get
Because they are dictating
because
who
they
dies
really
then.
have control.
Yeah.
They can easily just kill someone just because they don't like them or...
But then it goes even further back, and you find the founders or whatever.
Oh, those old gross men.
Well, don't spoil on them.
Oh.
They're old. But anyway, they go further back, and they're now more important than even those people. Mm-hmm. And so it gets to this point where...
And they want to be entertained, so then the people before, like, after them, the runners...
So I'm now thinking of a story just for the Trolley, this idea of mine, but how it would work.
Of stories. He's got a brilliant mind.
She's sweet. She loves me. She has to say that.
I also just don't have an imagination, so anybody with an imagination, like, really wows me.
So now I'm trying to get... There was a point, and I've lost that point. It's a dual pencil now. I need to sharpen it, find the point again.
Brilliant metaphor.
Thanks. But basically, yeah, it's just this... Who decides... And that just comes to fate, I think. Like, the layers of... choice?
Basically, we all don't have control.
Yeah. But at some point, the higher ranks that you are, though, you want everything you can to keep that power. Whereas at the low end, you're doing everything you can just to survive. Because that person all the way at the top doesn't have to worry about dying.
Yeah.
With that person all the way at the bottom, they're could be dead no matter what. Like, there really is. And it's just fascinating to think. And it can shift at any moment. And then the people, like, it's always, and that's just history and transference of power kind of thing. But, yeah, just, I don't know. Do you have anything that you want to spin on the Trolley thing? Or do you have any questions or...
No, I think it's, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if anybody in history has ever had to make that choice, like...
We have to think, like,
to the...
when you are a doctor and you have to decide who's...
Like, I would like
you have
real
one
life
organ
examples.
or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You have one organ that you can transplant. You have
Oh,
one
I guess,
person
like...
who, even if you did the transplant, probably doesn't have much longer, or you could give it to someone else and they could live a lot longer.
So you're,
but at the same
you're
time,
saying,
you are taking a life over.
Are you going to keep this person alive selfishly, like, for
Yeah,
you,
basically.
even when, like, all medical science is telling you that they don't have any quality of life, or are you going to let them go so that they're an organ, like, if they're an organ donor?
Oh, I
to,
wasn't
like,
even taking
this
that,
or-
but yeah, you could do that too. Yeah, they're, but that goes into like I remember. I don't know if anyone else is. I had a family member who said not to be an organ donor on your card because they would do exactly what you're saying. Like if you're not dead yet.
I don't know
which
if that's
is
true.
I don't either. But
I don't
I'm
think
just
that's true.
saying like.
They're not going to harvest your organs
Right,
while you're still...
but what I'm saying is like what you're saying is along that vein, where it's like, oh, like they could provide so much life if they just
right,
die.
but what I'm saying is, if all medical science and every medical professional is pointing you in the direction of they have no quality of life, if they do come back, they're not going to be able to walk, talk, speak, whatever. You know, do you keep them alive because you're holding on to that hope? Or because you can't stand the thought of, you know?
Right, and it also comes down to the psychology of grief, one, and just like everything. And there's always that like people
Hope is a
are
great
more,
thing, but it's
more
also
resilient than they think. And you could be given, you have like a 2% chance. Like, oh, there's still 2%.
Yeah,
Like
like
they
hope
could be
is
that,
a good thing, but it's also like it
But
can
it-
make you crazy.
But
too.
it also comes down to the thing, like exactly what we're talking about. In that moment, you are the trolley conductor. Like if you decide, okay, 2% is not enough, let's just end it for them, or whatever. And this is really depressing, and I apologize if anyone is going through something like this. But then you can also be like, oh well, no, it's my choice. Like if I don't choose this, and they could have lived, then that guilt is on me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, no matter what, it's a terrible situation to be in.
Yeah. And there's no right answer.
Right. And that's kind of how everything in
I
life
feel like
is.
that's kind of, yeah.
There's really
that's
no
how life is. Life is.
right answer.
Wow.
Life's a good thing. Life's a positive thing.
Yeah.
And Bella is very upset
Bella
with us.
loves life.
Yeah,
you know.
she's like, you guys know what
She gets treats.
She's the positive
for
pug.
Going POTTY. She gets treats for going HOME. She gets treats just for looking cute.
No, she doesn't.
I give her treats.
Oh my
She
god.
looks cute.
Any last minute words, Bella? You seem to really want to talk over us, so.
Yeah, I apologize. That's just gonna keep happening.
Yeah.
She likes to make herself known.
Yeah.
And we have people moving in. So she thinks that somebody's like, she thinks we're in danger, but we're really not. We're okay.
Yeah, hopefully. But yeah, that's really all I had in mind to talk about the trolley scenario. And again, I apologize that it went so dark there. But hopefully the next thing we talk about will be a little bit more positive. And if you have any suggestions, feel free to leave a comment, let us know.
Yeah. Or if you have any trolley scenarios,
Yeah, that'd be,
I want to hear about them. And if you just want to come play the trolley game, I love the trolley game. So come on over.
Game night.
Game night.
And then if you have any suggestions as far as
next tweaks.
Like, what we're... Not even that, but, like, this, like, do you like the video? Do you... Like, I guess more feedback than anything. Is there anything that I can do to make the quality better, both audio and video? Here's hoping... We tested the audio before this to see if it would work, and it did. Here's hoping that it worked this time and that we don't have to. And any, like, software as far as editing, anything like that, helps out a ton. That's really it. I hope you have a great week. I will talk to you all November 1st. That's the vlog thing. Again, the podcast, I don't know.
I will not be there.
Yeah, it'll just be me. I hope, until then, I hope you have a good day and everything, and never stop pondering. See ya.